On behalf of the Office of School Support and Improvement and the Oklahoma State Department of Education, I would like to welcome you to this overview of Oklahoma's continuous improvement cycle. I am Dr. Brooke Myler, the Executive Director of School Support and Improvement here at the State Department of Ed. The continuous improvement cycle is rooted in the belief that all students can grow and all schools can improve. All students deserve instruction focused on their growth, and all schools, including high-achieving schools, must be in a continuous process of improvement to keep up with changing student needs and evidence-based practices. The cycle has 5 steps. Identify local needs, select relevant evidence-based practices and interventions, plan for implementation through SMART goals and action plans, implement the plan, and examine and reflect on data, which will lead to identifying local needs again. It is a continuous cycle. Step 1 is identifying local needs. The comprehensive needs assessment has 3 large parts to it. The first part is the Oklahoma's 9 essential elements. The second part is surveys of stakeholders, and then the third part is looking at multiple measures of data. Let's talk about Oklahoma's 9 essential elements first. We refer to this framework as the 9EE framework, EE standing for essential elements. The 9 EEs are divided into 3 pillars: academic performance, learning environment, and collaborative leadership. And then each of these 3 pillars also has 3 specific essential elements. The first pillar is academic performance. And academic performance is made up of the essential elements of curriculum, classroom evaluation and assessment, and instruction. When schools are looking at curriculum, they're looking to implement a curriculum that is rigorous, that is intentional, and that is aligned to state and local standards. In the essential element of classroom evaluation and assessment, the faculty would look at multiple evaluation and assessment strategies to continually monitor and modify instruction to meet student needs and support proficient student work. In the element of instruction, schools are looking for an instructional program that actively engages all students by using effective, varied, and research-based practices to improve student academic performance. The second pillar of the 9 essential elements framework is learning environment. In learning environment, schools are really focusing on school culture, student, family, and community support, and professional growth, development, and evaluation. In school culture, schools will look at leadership functions as an effective learning community and also support a climate conducive to performance excellence, focusing on the culture of the school through those leadership teams. The element of student, family, and community support deals with working with families and community groups to remove barriers to learning in an effort to meet the intellectual, social, career, and developmental needs of students. The third element in learning environment is professional growth, development, and evaluation. This element provides research-based, results-driven professional development opportunities for the staff and implements performance evaluation procedures in order to improve teaching and learning. The third pillar in the Oklahoma essential elements is leadership. Leadership is made up of the elements of leadership, organizational structure and resources, and comprehensive and effective planning. In leadership, the school and district leadership team provides instructional decisions focusing on support for teaching and learning, organizational direction, and high performance expectations. The school or district leadership team creates a learning culture and develops leadership capacity. The element of organizational structure and resources is organized to maximize use of all available resources to support high quality performance of students and staff. And finally, comprehensive and effective planning helps the team develop, implement, and evaluate a comprehensive school improvement plan that communicates a clear purpose, direction, and action plan focused on teaching and learning. For each of these 9 elements, a leadership group or whole faculty works together to determine if the element is present in the school and to what extent it is implemented. For more on using the 9 EEs as a data gathering tool, please view the 2 videos called Identifying Local Needs and Consensus Protocol. These videos, as well as other videos I will mention in this presentation, can be found on the Office of School Support and Improvement website from the homepage of the Oklahoma State Department of Education website. Continuing with step 1, we talked about Oklahoma's 9 essential elements. The second part of a comprehensive needs assessment is surveys collected from stakeholders. So stakeholders would be students, teachers, parents, and administrators. This can be done through the 9EE Stakeholder Survey. To learn more about that survey, please view the video titled Identifying Local Needs. In addition to a review of the 9 EEs and stakeholder response, schools must also look at multiple measures such as attendance, discipline, assessment scores, and other measures that impact student achievement. These 3 things, the essential elements, the stakeholder surveys, and the multiple measures of data, together can help schools identify their needs where they need to focus their improvement efforts. In step 2, we select relevant evidence-based practices and interventions. Evidence-based practices and interventions are strategies or interventions that demonstrate a statistically significant effect on improving student outcomes. This is a new section in ESSA. No Child Left Behind required programs and practices to be research-based in the development stage. But ESSA goes a step further and not only requires research in the development of a program or practice, but also research that provides evidence that the practice or program had positive results. The threshold for that research is high. To learn more about evidence-based practices and interventions, please view the 2 videos titled Evidence-Based Practices and Interventions and External Provider Guidance. In step 3, we plan for implementation. This requires developing SMART goals, writing an action plan, and planning for professional learning that the staff will need. SMART stands for strategic, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART goals are derived from analyzing the root causes in your data. The action plan refers to specific actions a school will take to reach those goals, including the professional learning teachers will engage in. To learn more about this phase of the cycle, please view 2 videos, SMART Goals and Using Data to Determine Root Causes. In step 4, we implement the plan. Implementation of the plan generally takes place during the course of a school year or over several school years. This is a time when the action plan is put into practice. The implementation can include a host of actions such as instructional coaching, leadership coaching, model teaching, and professional learning. In step 5, we take a look at how our plan has been implemented and what our results have been. So that can happen through quarterly review of site benchmark data. It can be progress monitoring of implementation of practices. It could be an end-of-year data review. But all of those things would be taken into consideration to examine and reflect upon the year and then revise the plan as needed. As stated before, the continuous improvement cycle is rooted in the belief that all students can grow and all schools can improve. All students deserve instruction focused on their growth, and all schools, including high-achieving schools, must be in a continuous process of improvement to keep up with changing needs and evidence-based practices. For questions or more information on the continuous improvement cycle, please contact the Oklahoma State Department of Education Office of School Support and Improvement by phone at 405-522-0140. Thank you for joining us today.